Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the blackbusinessschool.com. And I was thinking about something that came up as a young brother asked me a question today, and I thought that I would share the answer with all of you so you would have access to the same information that I just gave to him. He was a young brother, about 25 years old. He said that he had just graduated from college about 4 years ago and was trying to figure out when he should quit his job and start his own business. He said he's very disciplined. He saved up $10,000, which is great. I have a lot of respect for him for that. That he's probably going to be successful, just based on the fact that he's able to save that kind of money at an early age. There are little indicators that young people show at an early age that tell you who's going to be most likely to succeed and who's not. It doesn't mean that it's a surefire thing, but usually people who can delay gratification are the ones who are most successful. People who need instant gratification, like I got money, I need to buy me some Jordans, or I'm tired, so I'm just gonna go lay down and chill and do nothing. Like people like that, unfortunately, don't tend to be as successful as people who are always investing in their future. If you're always investing in your future, you always got a plan in mind. You're always executing that plan. You're always thinking about building something for tomorrow. Chances are you're going to be more successful as the years go on than people who just eat it all now. You know what I mean? Who just take everything up now. So I was really impressed with the fact that this brother was so determined at an early age. Now, here's what I told this brother. When he talked about wanting to quit his job, and, Damon Dash and I talk about this a lot in our class at intelligentbossmoves.com, actually, because we have a lot of brothers who saw me and Damon on The Breakfast Club and who were really feeling like, yeah, let's go. I want to quit my job. I'm about to get out of here. And so I think it's important to kind of temper that. Now, Damon has his own perspective on it, so I'm not speaking for him, but I'll speak for me. What I told the brother was this. I said, look, $10,000 is a lot of money to have in a savings account, but it's not always a lot of money when it comes to running a business. You can run through $10,000 very fast, especially if you live in a high cost of living area like a New York City or an LA or something like that. And in fact, if you're young and you have a chance to do something like live with your parents, I would consider doing that for a while, because if you have no bills while you're trying to build your business, it makes it much easier because you don't have overhead to worry about in addition to figuring out how to simply make a profit. So I told him, I said, what you might want to do is instead of quitting your job, in my opinion, should be a last resort. That should be something you do if you absolutely have to, if you absolutely must be free in order to build your business, because it's very dangerous to go from having something to having nothing at all and living solely off your savings. But having a cushion, having low bills because you're living with your parents or whatever, that can kind of change the dynamic a little bit. And so what I told him was, I said, instead of just jumping off your job, first of all, figure out, do you have to actually quit your job? Can you still work your job and still build your business until your business starts making money, and then you've got something to kind of run over to? I quit my job when when I started making more money off of my job than I was making on my job. Then I knew I was safe to quit my job if I chose to do that. The other thing is, I told him, I said, you may want to reduce down to a part-time gig or a flexible gig. Like I've seen a lot of people become Uber drivers because Uber driving allows you to make decent money, and it allows you to have flexibility. And remember that when you start your first business, you're going to have cash flow needs. You're going to have expenses that you don't expect. You're going to have to pay people. The crazy thing about running a business is that your bills are so much higher than they were when you were just living and chilling and living a regular life. So you're kind of playing above the rim, so to speak. And you really want to kind of be ready for that. $10,000, you can go through that really fast if you're running a business. I'm just telling you that right now. Ultimately, I guess my general point is that if you are a black entrepreneur, a black person who says, or even if you're not black, I'm not saying this is only for black people, but I'm sorry, I'm a brother. Black lives matter to me. Black people are top priority to me. I care about the black community. I do this for my people. That's it. Not that I can't do it for other people. I'll talk to other people. I taught white kids for 20 years, but I love black people, and I love my community, and I feel like we have a great opportunity to really build something today that will just provide infrastructure for the next 20 generations. So that's what excites me about today. So if you see the energy in my voice and the pep in my step every time you see me, whether it's in person or on video, that's coming from the fact that our time is now. Our opportunity is now. We can do this right now. And I know we're going to win. I know we can win. There's no question about it. So anyway, let's go back to this. So if you're thinking about quitting your job, I encourage you to ask yourself first, why am I quitting? Do I actually have to quit my job, or can I just have a side hustle, that will support the money I'm making from my job? But then the problem is, if your job's getting in the way of your business, you have to figure out how to go to either a part-time gig, a different gig, a more flexible gig, or maybe no gig. But if you have a flexible gig, like let's say you're an Uber driver and you're running a business, then boom, your capital needs are solved. You don't have to worry about getting a bank loan because you got steady cash flow coming in that you can put into your business. Do you understand? So raising money for a business, which is really the biggest problem that most black businesses have today, usually comes down to figuring out where you're going to get your money by any means necessary, right? You have to be very creative when you're black. You can't just do what white folks do. White folks just go out and they fill out the bank loan and they give the bank loan over to the loan officer and say, oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the $10 million. White folks can get money easier than we can. It's a fact. It's just the way it is. That's racism, right? So we have to be very creative. We can make it work. You just have to be thoughtful about how you do it. So that's it. All right. By the way, guys, March 26th, next Saturday, I'm in Chicago at the Harold Washington Center. We're showing our film, Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, where we talk about the blueprint of what our ancestors did to build the greatest, most prosperous black community in history. And we're going to other cities. I'm actually going to go to Houston now. I just talked to somebody about going to H-Town real soon. We're also going to be in Baltimore as well on April 28th. Houston, that date is still up in the air. And there are other cities we're going to go to, so that's not it. So if you want to know more, if you want to just get on the list and kind of keep up with the dates, go to the DrBoyceWatkinsTour.com. That's the DrBoyceWatkinsTour.com. And finally, if you want your kids to be prepared for the future, we have a program at BlackMillionairesOfTomorrow.com. That's BlackMillionairesOfTomorrow.com. Sign your kids up for that program, because when your child goes through that program, when your child learns from me, they will walk out of there with an average financial literacy level that will exceed the average college senior. I've designed the program this way based on what I've been teaching college students for a lot of years, and I know that when we build this army of brilliant black children who know business, who know stock markets, who know investing, who know real estate, who know all these things, it's over. They won't be able to keep up with us, period. That's it. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to get out of here. I love you. Take care. Peace.